also, an ancestor, I think, is sort of the easiest answer to that is the ghost who isn't necessarily choosing to manifest themselves is actually consciously choosing to manifest themselves. I guess that's a good way to put it. Ghosts do not always seem to be able to do that.
Right. So, an ancestor that they would communicate with in the shamanic tradition or whatever, that is different than a ghost. Correct?
Yes and no.
Okay.
No, because Native American traditions, for example, and I believe, and to be lucid dreaming is being aware of your dreams while you're dreaming. So you have consciousness in your dream.
And you can make choices.
Right, and you can make choices, exactly. And so to do that, it logically follows that you should start being aware of your dreams when you're waking. And so doing what you suggested, writing down dreams before you do anything else, trying to remember them, holding them in your mind. That's what I've found from other people that I've talked to that have the same ability, that it's not the sort of thing. Some people can have an experience with a ghost or with somebody who's passed on. It happens one time, you never have it happen again. There seems to be no middle ground. Either you have a few isolated incidents throughout your life, or usually just one, if any at all. But most people have had at least one, and or it just is something that continually happens.
Some people have had, maybe one, but written it off as just something that was a dream or was imagined.
Yeah.
Actually, a contact. Now, I think it's important to try, just for our viewers to understand, you mentioned ghosts.
And we had everything happen there, from some walking. I saw somebody standing at the window. Things flew around the room. And other people, and it would happen when people were over, was one thing that was really bizarre about it. And it kept reinforcing it, because I would write it off, I really would. I would say, what's the acoustics in the house and somebody downstairs was pacing. And that might have been, but some things happened that there was no other explanation for. And they happen so frequently, and like I said, that other people would see them, and it became impossible to write off. And so I started, sort of seeking out places that were haunted more after that had happened. And the last thing I'll tell you, was a lucid dream experience. It's very common, very incredibly common for people to have lucid dreams right after someone they're close to has died, and usually about the person who's died. And generally be interested in talking to the person. And the time that my grandmother died in May and my grandfather in September, and the time period between when one happened and the other happened, I really did have
waiting for her to give me the signal.
once you talk about them for the rest of the time and stop doing it, and so then they suddenly started occurring. And the first one I had, my grandmother was just talking to me, banging things around in the kitchen and shit. She had this wig on that was like robins and blue. I'm like, what is going on with wig? And the artist had was an attachment photograph of a family gathering that had been had before. And I'll be darned if there wasn't a whole set of them where everyone was trying on this robin's egg blue wig.
Oh my goodness.
And I thought, what on earth? And I finally told my aunt, I said, what is with the wig? Because I had the craziest thing. So strange things do happen, and sometimes cross over between dreaming and waking life.
We'll start taking calls now. You can call in with questions in regards to dreams.
And I didn't even know she was sick until the very, at the end.
Okay.
But what's also interesting about this is that other people, said they had the same experience of having her come in the dream and being It's very interesting.
She was probably doing really well, I would think. Had made the transition very well.
Yeah.
Enough to... That's a nice experience.
Yeah, the dreams that people have of people who have just passed away really do tend to be, from what I've heard, almost always positive. Sometimes, like in the reports of
in society I was talking about that does so much investigation. Sometimes if someone's dying in an abrupt or negative way, the experiences of the people who are close to them who see them are also kind of negative and frightening. But the majority of the time, people don't die in a negative way.
Yes.
Hello?
Hi. How
Can
are
we help
you?
you? Hello?
Could you tell me about my husband's work? I'm concerned about it. I have some difficulty in receiving an answer from the legal authority, and his work is about history, the foundation of this nation. And
Well, that's not good. Well, it sounds like that's the type of thing that is so serious. It's really my suggestion. I mean, first of all, would be to contact somebody and say that you're not being able to reach help with legal authorities, and then maybe contact a reader directly when it's not on the show. That's a lot to try to go into. It would take probably a great deal of time.
And I'm afraid we are running out of time, but thank you for calling and good luck to you, okay?
well, I would like to know if you see a positive resolution.
Well, we are out of time right now, but thank you very much for calling, okay?